President Joe Biden has endorsed his current vice president, Kamala Harris, for president. Now, Harris is the first woman, black person, or person of South Asian descent to serve as vice president. She would also be making even more history if she receives the Democratic Party nomination. WRAL's Aaron Thomas spent the evening speaking with voters about how today's announcement impacts them at the polls. Aaron.
Yeah, Julia, well, you can take a look behind me. We're here at Dix Park. A lot of people just wanting to enjoy a Sunday afternoon. But, like many of us, we were surprised to get that push alert on our phones to find out that President Biden would not be seeking the re-election. When we asked many of the voters that you see out here what they thought about Vice President Harris potentially becoming the presidential nominee, they say even with an endorsement from President Biden, they hope for other options come November. This group of young voters recalls the shock they felt after hearing about President Biden dropping out of the presidential race in November. Not long after making the announcement on Sunday, he endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to replace him on the ticket. We ran into Jean at Dix Park and asked the Durham-based voter about the idea of Harris becoming the Democratic presidential nominee.
I know that Joe Biden has endorsed Kamala Harris, but I am hopeful that we might get another candidate. Kamala's great. She's great. However, I still remember those days when Bernie was interested in politics and becoming president. So I hope he comes back to the ticket. His policies were very favorable for those of us who are young and working or in schools.
Others, like Tom Bone from Johnston County, question her likability.
So I think it's the politically correct thing to do. I think for the party, it's probably one of the weakest candidates they have because she's just not liked.
So you can hear from the voters that we spoke with this evening. A lot of them are cautiously optimistic about Vice President Harris potentially becoming the presidential nominee. You want to stay with us on our late news beginning at 10 on Fox 50. We're going to have a political analysis from a political science expert about what voters will need to do for whatever stakes are coming up in November. But right now on WRAL.com, you can take a look at where Vice President Harris stands on key issues such as abortion and immigration. Aaron Thomas, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.